Well, hello and welcome to the Pastor Study. Last time we talked about not having a selfish attitude or seeking things from your own motivation or vainglory. Well, you might say, well, I'm not sure how that looks at. Well, Paul continues that thought and he says, this is what it looks like. He says, it looks like what Jesus did. He says, let me read for you here in verse 5. He says, have this attitude in yourself, which is also in Christ Jesus. That you act like Christ, you live like Christ, you do like Christ. You have his heart attitude, you've got it. He said, and this is what it looked like. He said, here's Christ. He says, he being the very form of God, he was the very Son of God. He did not regard the fact that he was equal, and he didn't regard his equality with God as something to be grabbed a hold of, but he emptied himself of that. And he took on the form of a servant, a bondservant, willing to be obedient to Christ, willing to be obedient to the Father, willing to do what God needed him to do, willing to give up his position in heaven and take on human form. It says he took on the likeness of men. He found his appearance as a man. He humbled himself. He became obedient. He died on the cross. That's how obedient he was. He says, for this reason, well, the reason. We'll discuss the reason next time. But Paul was saying, that's what an attitude adjustment looks like. That's what humility looks like. He could have walked around, paraded himself from the very beginning and say, I am the Son of God, and you people need to know that. And I don't have to do nothing that I don't want to. Sometimes our kids, when they're little, they get that attitude. And especially when they become older, the challenges of having teenagers sometimes, and they get an attitude. I am a teenager now. I can decide. Well, no, you're also my son. You're also my daughter. There's certain things that you still have to be obedient in. Because even in life, when you're an adult, there's still things you have to obey. And Jesus is our example. Here he was, the very Son of God. And he laid it all aside to become a human man and be obedient to the death on the cross. So let me ask you, do you have the attitude of Jesus Christ? I hope that you do. Till next time in the Pastor Study, goodbye and may God bless.